You open your favorite delivery app for takeout. The same noodles you got last year now cost 25% more. Yet headlines reassure you inflation is coming down. So why does your paycheck seem to vanish faster than ever, even though experts say prices are stabilizing? Today, we're unraveling why everything feels more expensive, even when official inflation is supposedly under control. We'll peel back the numbers, decode the psychology and economics behind your shrinking wallet, and reveal what's really happening beneath those reassuring statistics. Let's start with the frustration that so many of us feel. Your rent, electricity, coffee, and groceries seem to cost more every month, and yet if you glance at the news, the inflation rate is only 3 or 4%. Why does it feel like your money just doesn't go as far anymore? Is it just your imagination, or is something deeper at play? First, let's break down what inflation actually measures. The official inflation rate, like the Consumer Price Index in the US, is a basket of goods and services designed to represent the average consumer's spending. But here's the catch. Average doesn't mean your reality. It smooths out the prices of thousands of goods, and yet your personal basket might be very different from what the government statisticians imagine. What's more, inflation is measured by how much higher prices are now compared to a year ago. When the headlines say inflation has come down, they mean that prices are not rising as quickly, not that they're going back to where they were. If eggs went up 20% last year and only 3% this year, they're still massively more expensive than 2 years ago. Another hidden dynamic. Not all prices move together. Essentials, housing, food, utilities, healthcare often rise faster than the overall inflation number because demand for these things is less flexible. Plus, companies sometimes use inflation as cover to raise prices a little more, knowing consumers expect hikes right now, and then those changes can stick around even after cost pressures ease. But there's psychology at work, too. When prices jump, especially on things you buy all the time, it creates sticker shock. Psychologists call this loss aversion. It hurts more to lose $1 than it feels good to gain one. And each time you pay more for the same thing, it stings. Even small increases start to feel cumulative. And when wages don't keep up, every raise in rent, every higher restaurant bill, chips away at your sense of control. Let's add another twist. Many companies have adjusted to inflation by shrinking the product instead of the price, something called shrinkflation. The bag of chips looks the same, but suddenly has fewer chips inside. The yogurt cup is shorter. Or brands swap in cheaper ingredients. You're paying the same or more for less, and it's hard to spot unless you're really paying attention. And finally, there's a lagging effect. Even when inflation falls, rents, contracts, and wages tend to only reset once a year. A landlord hikes your rent 8% last fall. That stings every month for the next 12. Inflation rate be damned. Meanwhile, businesses keep the new, higher prices as long as they can, using the new normal to anchor your expectations. So even when the headlines say inflation is back to normal, your budget can still be in crisis. Let's bring this down to earth with a real-world example. Imagine Maya, a 28-year-old renting in Chicago. Last year, her rent climbed from $1,600 to $1,760, a 10% hike, way above the reported overall inflation. Her supermarket bill, for the same mix of groceries, is up by about 18% over 2 years. Her local cafe increased the price of her go-to latte from $3.75 to $4.50, blaming higher milk costs, but hasn't brought it back down. Maya's streaming subscriptions, internet plan, and even her bus fare have crept upward. Meanwhile, her employer gave her a 3% raise, enough to match the most recent inflation number, but not even close to clawing back what she's lost over 2 years. She notices the orange juice container is smaller, and the cereal box is thinner, but the price tags haven't budged. When Maya tallies up her monthly expenses, she's spending about $300 more than 2 years ago, with only $90 more in take-home pay. Official statistics may say inflation is easing, but her reality is a lingering, everyday squeeze. Multiply Maya's experience across millions, and it's no wonder so many people feel poorer, even when the experts say otherwise. So, next time someone tells you inflation is getting better, think about Maya's story, and your own. Prices rarely reverse, and even low inflation leaves its mark, especially if your costs and wages move at different speeds. Here's a question to ponder. If we're all living in our own customized cost of living reality, how long before the official numbers tell a story no one recognizes? Like and subscribe.